Congolese activist Jean-Marie Kalonji has been detained by Congolese armed forces without reason. Mr. Kalonji was on his way to visit family within the Democratic Republic of Congo's capital, Kinshasa, when he was stopped and interrogated by police. He was asked for his identification papers, but did not have them with him, and as a result was taken to Camp Bumba. This is the second time that Jean-Marie Kalonji has been arrested without cause. In December 2015, he was kidnapped by intelligence services, tortured and held incommunicado for several months. Only after mounting pressure from Congolese youth and supporters outside the country was he eventually released under heavy surveillance. Still in the DRC, police arrested 4 artists in the eastern city of Goma on Friday as they were staging a peaceful demonstration to protest the killings across the Kasai region and in Benai in North Kivu province. Covered in red paint, Benito Mugabo, Benito Mupenzi, Percy Numbi and Cruz Taylor lay on the side of the road bearing crosses for the thousands of victims killed in the unrest. They were rounded up and taken to the mayor's office and are believed to have been questioned by a prosecutor at Goma's High Court. Now, the president of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Joseph Kabila, met with South Africa's President Jacob Zuma in Pretoria on Sunday. The visit comes during the 10th session of the South Africa-DRC Binational Commission, which is currently underway. The summit aims to review bilateral cooperation between the two nations, as well as review the progress made with the implementation of bilateral projects. President Joseph Kabila said that it is his goal to organize elections together in his country, but he did not announce a date for the vote.
The objective of the current dialogue that we held was government of national unity. Let's organize elections together as a nation, together as political parties, civil society. And we still have that objective in mind and in our sights. Do we still have challenges irrespective of these areas of cooperation? The answer is yes. Challenges are inherent to any country, anywhere in the world, inherent also to any society, and especially a nation like ours, which is going through the phase of post-conflict.
Congratulate you, Mr. President, on the progress achieved thus far and the manner in which you have handled that process. The people of the DRC need to determine and decide their internal political future.
More than 80,000 people are said to have fled their homes in Poo province surrounding Congo's Republic capital since the government began a military operation there last year. The new estimated figure was released in a joint statement by the UN and the government, but the death toll of the victims of the campaign, which includes aerial bombardments, has not yet been confirmed. The military action aims to curb what the government say is a resurgent rebellion led by Pastor Ntumi, a so-called enemy of the president from the 1997 civil war. Escalating violence could be damaging to President Denis Sassou Nguesso's ruling party ahead of legislative elections next month. The UN is seeking some $20 million in emergency funding to provide humanitarian assistance in the province. The daughter of the Republic of Congo's President Denis Sassou Nguesso is under investigation by French authorities for corruption. Julienne Sassou Nguesso and her husband, Guy Johnson, are being investigated for money laundering and misuse of public funds. This comes after the couple bought a $3.4 million house in an upmarket area in Paris. The investigation is part of a probe by French police into how members of families of 3 African presidents, that's Congo, Gabon and Equatorial Guinea, have spent their money in France. Neither Ms. Ngesu nor her partner have commented on the investigation. Now, Soweto's small-scale entrepreneurs are taking their creations to the world with the help of an innovative new scheme that hopes to transform the South African township's economy. Let's find out more in this report.
Mandisa Zwane always dreamed of working in fashion. The bright and bold African print designs that she makes in her Soweto workshop are hugely popular. But her creations don't just fly off the shelves in Soweto. They have been sold as far afield as London and Atlanta. A coup for the 42-year-old fashionista who started out making a handful of garments every month for friends and family.
There's a belief that for you to be able to be successful in anything, you need to be out of the township. And I have proven that to not to be true, because this is where I do my business, this is where I've hired people, and it's quite successful.
Soweto's Box Shop, a local not-for-profit that helps small businesses run and expand, has allowed her to reach a worldwide clientele. A physical shop on Soweto's Vilakazi Street and a web store offering worldwide shipping help propel Box Shop's suppliers. They also receive business advice after successfully pitching their products in a first-of-its-kind project for South Africa.
We basically supported local businesses in making sure that all supplies we used to build this particular store supported these small businesses around the community. That's first, and since we've been operating, we've created an ecosystem where now these local businesses can engage with us.
Soweto's Box Shop now works with some 80 entrepreneurs and hopes to open 10 stores like the one in Soweto over the next decade. Among those to have benefited from the scheme is Velapi Mpolweni. He has dedicated himself to creating jobs for Soweto's unemployed, following the success of his home furnishings, spurred on by Box Shop.
I'm sure it is not only 8 people that I have employed. Behind those 8 people, there is a family of around 8, and then you can make the figures 8 times 8, you have 64 people.
Despite the South African government spending €420 million to develop the townships in 2016 alone, the townships still have plenty of untapped economic potential.
6 police officers have been injured and 4 people were arrested in a protest over the death of a young father following a traffic stop. Bricks were thrown and fires were lit outside Stratford bus station and Forest Gate police station in London on Sunday. Protesters allege that 25-year-old Adair Frederico da Costa was brutally beaten by Met police officers earlier this month. The police watchdog is investigating the treatment of Mr. da Costa, who died 6 days after he was stopped. Campaigners claimed that his neck was broken and that he suffered head and other injuries after being stopped by officers in a car containing 3 other people. The Independent Police Complaints Commission said the preliminary post-mortem examination carried out on Thursday indicated that he did not have any of the alleged injuries. The investigation into the case is still ongoing. An agreement has been reached that will see the Democratic Unionist Party back Prime Minister Theresa May's minority government. It comes 2 weeks after an election resulted in a hung parliament. The deal will see the 10 DUP MPs back the Tories in key Commons votes, and there will be £1 billion extra for Northern Ireland over the next 2 years. The agreement has prompted calls for matching public investment in Scotland and Wales. A 3-page document outlining the terms of the agreement, which will apply for the lifetime of the Parliament, which is the next 5 years, has been published in full.
Today, we have reached an agreement with the Conservative Party on support for government in Parliament. This agreement will operate to deliver a stable government in the United Kingdom's national interest at this vital time. Throughout these discussions, our guiding principle has been our commitment to acting in the national interest in accordance with our shared objectives for strengthening and enhancing our precious union. Following our discussions, the Conservative Party has recognised the case for higher funding in Northern Ireland, given our unique history and indeed circumstances over recent decades.
A lorry carrying fuel burst into flames near the Pakistani city of Ahmedpur East, killing at least 150 people. Local officials say villagers had gathered reportedly to collect fuel that was leaking from the crashed tanker when it caught fire. Up to 100 people are thought to have been injured, with dozens being treated in hospital. The tanker blew a tyre while rounding a sharp corner and subsequently crashed. The fire was sparked by a passerby lighting a cigarette. A number of the victims may only be identified by DNA sampling, as the bodies were badly burned in the incident.
I came and filled the fuel can with fuel and dropped it home. Then I came back again. As I arrived, I saw fire everywhere. My relatives and cousins were there. We have not found them, and now I have come to hospital to look for them.
As the tanker turned over, fuel leaked out. The explosion took place and fire erupted. We are searching for my nephews.
And some sport now. The Republic of Congo hosted the Africa Boxing Championships between the 18th and 25th of June. The event attracted some 300 boxers from 25 different nations and was held in Brazzaville's Nicolas Oba Sports venue. And the host nation had the double honour of clinching the heavyweight title and hosting, with Uganda winning the welterlight category. Now, before we go, let's have a reminder of tonight's top stories. 9 people have been killed following a spate of suicide attacks in the Nigerian city of Maiduguri. An investigation into the alleged suicide of South African anti-apartheid activist Ahmed Timol is reopened. And Pakistan's government orders an inquiry into a fuel tanker fire that claimed more than 150 lives. Well, that's all for the Vox Africa Evening News tonight. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow. See you then. Goodbye.